Treasure Wars is a skillful game mode. There is no RNG and no luck. So in this video, I will teach you how to get better at Treasure Wars. I will show you all the things that I've learned after playing Treasure Wars for almost 2 years now. Without further ado, you can very much start by getting better before the game even starts. You should first pick a map that you like and know. Knowing the maps is the best way to become very good, but it's just optional. Next, you can also look at your opponent's gamer score. This will help to see how good they are. It will also give me a rough idea of what to expect of my opponent. If they have not a very high gamer score, then you could probably assume that they aren't the best at the game. This will also help to flush out cheaters and hackers if there are any. You might know if there's a cheater if their gamer score is 0. This could either be a new player or a hacker. Another way you can also tell is by their name or skin. Now on to the early game. When the game starts, you should go see if there's a person beside you. This lets you know if you have to go and attack them or not. If you don't, then you'll be in a really good situation. You should bridge over to mid, get all the emeralds, and upgrade your gen. But what happens most of the time is there is a person next to you, so you have to go and kill them. You want to get 5 gold, buy blocks, and rush diamond gen to get through the base. Now whoever gets to the diamond gen first has a huge advantage. This is caused by them having the lower ground and you having the higher ground, which makes it easier for them to combo you off the edge. So you want to try to get to the diamond gen first. It will help me. It will help you. Trust me, I know. Another tip I have at sumo fights at diamond gen is block placement. This will help a ton. It will cause them to stop their sprint and make it really easy for you to combo them off the edge. If you lose the sumo, then the game is pretty much over, but you still have a chance. If you lose the sumo, then you quickly grab gold and buy a sword. If you get a sword, then it's going to be hard for them to kill you because they only have blocks, and you have a sword. But if you do win the sumo, then you're in good shape. You want to stack up blocks so they can't escape and go break their treasure. Then you want to grab their gold. A lot of people want to break their treasure first, but don't do this because this makes sure that your opponent can grab a sword while you're breaking the treasure and kill you. So grab the gold, buy a sword, break the treasure, and kill them. Also, they cannot escape because of the blocks that you build up from the beginning. When you final kill the team next to you, then you want to run back to the base and buy 2 swords. Why 2 swords, you ask? This is because if you die, then you have another sword that you can kill your opponent with. After this, you want to either go to mid or side rush your opponent next to you. If they're at their base, then don't side rush. Then you want to go to mid and grab all the emeralds, but if they aren't, then I would side rush. If you side rush and got your opponent's treasure, then you want to go to mid and grab all of the M's. If there are 1 to 2 M's, then someone has been to mid. You should probably kill the player that went to mid because they're going to have a really good loot, and you want to be they'll be hard to kill. But if there is 3 to 4 M's, then nobody's been there, and you have the advantage now. After you grab all the M's, you want to head back to base. But if someone chases you from middle to your base, don't go to your base, because you won't have time to do anything. If they're chasing you, go to the base next to you and buy snowballs and a diamond sword if you have enough. Then if the player tries to come and kill you, then you shouldn't be able to, because you have snowballs and you can just combo them off or kill them. That is the end of the early game. Next is middle game. In this part of the game, there is only 2 to 3 players, and people with the stronger loot will win, and the ones with not as good loot will be killed. So make sure you have at least iron armor during this stage of the game. Also in this part of the game, most of everyone in the game will be fighting for middle control, and gathering M's and diamonds to get even more stacked, to the point where they win the game. Now this is the point of the game where it is fine to let your treasure be broken for you to go get M's and diamonds, because you want to focus on getting even more stacked, so that you have a higher chance of winning the game. If you gathered up all the emeralds without your opponents getting none, then you're in good shape, because then you know you'll have snowballs or ender pearls while your opponent doesn't have any. Also, another trick that you can use to trigger your opponents is putting your better armor in your inventory and wearing like chain, for example. And then right as your opponent's about to come over and kill you, you put on your better armor and it will trick the other player. It works almost every time too. Ender chests are also a good thing to use at almost any point in the game, but only use your ender chest if you have a treasure. This is important because if you don't have a treasure, then what's the point of having an ender chest for when you die? There's no point, so don't use your ender chest unless you have a treasure. Another thing to do is voiding. I personally don't use this strategy because it's very risky to do. Also, memorizing which teams are next to you is a good rule of thumb to have because the same colors are always next to each other, so it's good to know that. That is really the end of the middle game. Next, if you haven't won the game yet, is endgame. Endgame is a pretty rare occurrence, and endgame means it's basically a 1v1 against your opponent. Everyone will have at least iron armor and snowballs and gapples, so you should be prepared for endgame, because it's going to be a hard fight to win. All generators will be maxed out too. For this part of the game, you just want to break your opponent's treasure, and they will most likely get yours too. And then it's a battle for the win. To win this fight, be prepared with snowballs and knockback boomboxes and such. These things will help you for an advantage for winning the game. You can also buy diamond armor if you have enough emeralds, but I personally don't buy diamond armor that much, but it will secure the win for you. To win endgame, you have to outsmart your opponent and just have better gear too. I guess this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching this much so far. Please subscribe, helps me a ton.